back to my channel. So today is more a lesson in how not to make a yin yang plaque than how to make one, because I definitely chose the difficult path to do it. So I'm using JDiction epoxy resin and UV resin today. And also I want to show you this brand new UV lamp that came from Tracey. She sent it to me as a surprise from my Amazon wish list. That's down in the description below, along with all my other product information and discount codes for just JDiction resin and more. So here, let's begin. My first mistake. I'm using a beautiful black mica from Resin for a base color, which was, really stupid. And I added the silver alcohol ink, okay? I'm thinking, oh, it'll be a pretty bottom, even though this isn't going to be seen because I'm going to do the design on top of this. Well, it would have been a heck of a lot smarter if I had done this base in either clear or white, so that I wouldn't have to struggle to put the white half of the yin yang on here and make sure that it's opaque and looking pure white. So here I cured that overnight, and as you can see, the silver alcohol ink was an absolute waste of time. It didn't add anything to the black and just pooled in the middle. Fortunately, it's all going to be covered up. This was the smartest thing I found, was two styrofoam cups that were just perfect shapes to trace my curves. Okay, that was great. I just used a silver marker. Once again, that's going to be covered up. You're not going to see it, but that worked really well. Now, the rest of it, we begin going downhill. So you're saying, aren't we already going downhill? Yes, we are, but here's where we start to speed up. So I put some silver ribbon cord using UV resin down along the dividing lines, thinking the cord would be enough to act as a wall between the two colors when I pour them. That was also an incorrect assumption. Now, I wasn't sure at this time if I was going to let the dividing line show, which is why I chose the silver, because I thought if I do, it looks pretty. It's not just some plain black cord or whatever. But as you will see, it does get covered up. So, cured it for 120 seconds, great, no problem. So far, so good, or so I thought. So making the rounds here was a good idea with the UV. And does anyone else who uses Castin craft white pigment find that you need to have the strength of 10 men to squeeze it out? It's ridiculously difficult. But anyway, my biggest problem here, because it does work using the UV and making them, because I wanted perfectly round black and white areas, was the fact that I put these down, as you will see, and then poured the colors around it. So it ended up making my rounds really wonky in the end, which is probably the worst part of the whole finished piece that you will see. But other than that, here we go with the next mistake. This couldn't have been harder to try to do this way. I would do one little part at a time next time and go around a little section at a time slowly instead of trying to do it all at once. I had to get my fingers into the UV and hold it, and it was ridiculous. So don't do what I just did. And there I am doing it again. Still, don't do what I did. This was ridiculous. Okay, so at this point, I've got my full face respirator on, guys, and this is really, really when the nightmare got even worse because I just can't see with it on, and I had a hard time trying to get the resin just to the edges without going over, and then I ended up adding more than I needed. And you will see I eventually start getting overspill, which is, well, everybody should knows that does resin. Once you break that seal, whether you're doing a top coat and trying to dome it, or just like this and get it up to the edge and that's it, it's nearly impossible to get it back. So I'm just removing the excess here. This is how you do it. Just swipe it in and picking up the excess. And I really thought I had a handle on it and got it under control here, but you'll see the nightmare continues. So now is when I mix up the white, and I even added to the Castin Craft white pigment that I'm using all my strength to squeeze out. I added white alcohol ink, because here's where it really hit me that, boy, this was a mistake, having to try to now make the white be completely opaque on top of the black instead of doing it the other way around and starting with the white base. Covering it with black would have been a lot easier. So once again, still continuing, as you can see the respirator in this video part here, and I can barely see. I'm going crazy trying to get it around and not have it go up on the round, but it didn't matter because that is what happened. The colors ended up seeping not just over the silver cord, but up into the rounds, and that's what made the rounds really wonky. That's why I say my other mistake is putting them down first. I should have put the white color and the black color on each half in whatever way I was going to do it, whether I painted or use resin, whatever, and then place the rounds on top. But unfortunately, that's not what I did. And here we go, ready for another waterfall overflow, this time of white. And I'm not going to torture you by making you watch me try to clean this up for as long as it took, because let's put it this way, the resin has a 40-minute work time, and it was starting to get gummy because I took so long trying to fix this area here that you're watching me do. And like I said, I'm not going to torture you with the entire procedure there. And also, I was not successful, and I had to just give it up and let it cure and plan to fix it later. So that's the next big mistake. There you go. So as you can see, I am now using white acrylic paint. I mixed it with Liquitex High Gloss Varnish to give it a shine like the resin. I didn't want it to look flat, even though it is going to get a top coat. And this was a pain in the neck too. I had to do 2 coats of this just to get it to be opaque. And it still didn't look great. And then the black, I used the same mica powder, the black pearl, and mixed that with a little bit of varnish instead of using black acrylic, so that I could just keep the same look. And that was fine, but still. So here I decided to add some ultrafine glitter to the final clear top coat, which is also known as trying to put lipstick on a pig. And while it does give it a nice sparkle, it doesn't help fix the black and white rounds that ended up looking so wonky in the end. And here you will see my last mistake, realizing that I made the white and black rounds with the UV resin in the mold too deep, so that they actually sit up too high and I can't get them covered, which made me put way too much in there, and of course I had more overspill. I was able to get that under control, but the rounds still were poking out at the very top. So thank you to all of you that are still hanging in there here with me. The nightmare is almost over, friends. And if you are new to my channel, I hope you will subscribe, even though this is a lesson in what not to do. I thought it would be important for you to see a whole lot of mistakes when you're trying to do something for the first time and working through it. That's why I decided to post it after all, even though it is not a great finished piece in my mind. So here we demolded, and I just had to clean up all those edges there, especially around the black, and I just did that with scissors, and that worked out great. So I will be back again soon with another video, and until next time, please stay safe, be kind, and have a great day.